Hello, my dear students. Today I am going to discuss about the vector product of two vectors and their properties from the chapter kinematics. The chapter name is kinematics. The topic name is the vector product of two vectors. Right. We know that there are two types of vector multiplication. One is a scalar product and another one is a vector product. Right. One is scalar product and second one is vector product. Right. There are two types of vector multiplication or multiplication of vectors. They are scalar product and second one is vector product. Right. Scalar product is also called dot product. Dot product. Dot product or inner product. Dot product or inner product. And vector product is also called cross product. Right. Cross product or outer product, right? There are two types of vector multiplication, scalar product and vector product. Scalar product is also called dot product or inner product, and vector product is also called cross product or outer product. Cross product or outer product, right? What is the difference between these two? Right? Suppose, let us consider two vectors, A vector and B vector, right? The product of these two vectors, gives another vector which has only magnitude, means the product of these two vectors is called scalar product or dot product, right? Understand? A vector and B vector are the two vectors. The product of these two vectors, gives another quantity. That quantity has only magnitude, means this type of product or the product of these two vector is scalar product or dot product, right? For example, A vector dot B vector is equal to C. Here A vector and B vector, these two are two vector quantities. The product of these two vector quantity gives another quantity which is represented by C. Right, here the quantity C has only magnitude. Okay, then this type of product is called scalar product or dot product. Right. Vector product, the same A vector and B vector. Right. The product of these two vectors, gives another physical quantity, but which has both magnitude and direction. Then this type of product is called cross product. Okay, cross product or vector product, right? The product of two vector gives another quantity which has only magnitude, means then the product of these two vectors is called scalar product or dot product, right? The product of two vector gives another physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction, means then this type of a product is called vector product or cross product. So this is a main difference between scalar product and vector product, right? The scalar product of two vectors and their properties already discussed in the previous class, right? So in this class I am going to discuss about only the vector product of two vectors and their properties. Right. Suppose once again we consider two vectors, A vector and B vector. Right. Again the same two vectors, A vector and B vector. Right. The cross product or vector product of these two vectors is represented by like this. Right. The scalar product or dot product of two vectors is represented by A vector dot B vector like this. Whereas the vector product or cross product of two vectors, that is A vector and B vector, is represented by A vector, this symbol, okay, we want to say cross. So that is why vector product is also called cross product, right? Here A vector cross B vector. The vector product or cross product of two vector is represented by A vector cross B vector, right? The vector product of these two vector gives another quantity which is also vector quantity. Suppose it is represented by C vector, right? Listen, the vector product of two vectors, that is A vector and B vector, gives another physical quantity. Okay, that quantity also vector. So that quantity I am represented as C vector, right? Here C vector is a resultant quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Right? The magnitude of the resultant vector, that is C vector, is represented by, or it is written as modulus of C vector is equal to modulus of A vector modulus of B vector into sin theta, right? Okay, modulus represents the magnitude of C vector. So the modulus of C vector is equal to modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector into sin theta. What is theta? Suppose the A vector and the B vector acting like this. Suppose the vectors A vector and B vector is acting along this direction with an angle of theta. Right? So that is why here sin into theta. Right? The modulus of C vector means the magnitude of C vector, which is equal to modulus of A vector means the magnitude of A vector. Modulus of B vector means magnitude of B vector. So the product of magnitude of A vector and magnitude of B vector and the sine of angle between A vector and B vector gives the magnitude of resultant vector, that is C vector. Right? Understand? The vector product of two vector gives another physical quantity which is also a vector quantity. So vector quantity has both magnitude and direction. Right? First, it is necessary to find the magnitude of the resultant quantity. The magnitude of resultant quantity, that is C vector, is represented by modulus of C vector, which is equal to modulus, that is magnitude of the product of magnitude of A vector and B vector and the sine of angle between the two vectors. Right? The direction and the magnitude of the resultant vector is, or can be written as C vector is equal to modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector to sin theta into n cap. In this equation, modulus of A vector into modulus of B vector into sin theta gives the magnitude of C vector. Here, what is n cap? N cap is a unit vector. What is unit vector? A vector whose modulus is 1 or whose modulus is unity is called unit vector. That is, its magnitude is 1. Then what is the use of n cap, that is unit vector? The unit vector gives the direction of resultant quantity. So modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector into sin theta gives the magnitude of C vector, whereas unit vector, that is n cap, gives the direction of C vector. So this is representation of C vector, that is vector quantity, which is equal to the product of magnitude of the two vectors and sine of angle between them, and unit vector gives the direction of C vector. Right? And one more thing, the direction of C vector, that is a resultant quantity, can be determined by using two important rules, namely right hand screw rule, second right hand thumb rule. right hand screw rule and right hand thumb rule. These are the rules which are used to find the direction of resultant quantity, that is the direction of C vector. Direction of C vector. Already I told the magnitude of C vector can be determined if you know the magnitude of A vector and magnitude of B vector and what is the angle between A vector and B vector. The angle between A vector and B vector value is known and magnitude of A vector value is known and B vector value magnitude also known. If you know these three values, then we can calculate what is the magnitude of C vector. What is the magnitude of C vector? Then how can you find out or how can you determine the direction of C vector by using these two rules? What are the two rules? Right hand screw rule and second one is right hand thumb rule. Right. First we go for right hand screw rule. Right. Suppose let us consider this is a screw or screwdriver which is held like this. Right. And it is held by left hand but it is rotated by right hand like this. Right. Suppose one of the vector, that is A vector, is acting along this direction, right, along this direction, and B vector is suppose acting along this direction. Suppose angle between A vector and B vector is theta. Angle between A vector and B vector is theta, right. Now what happens if the screwdriver is rotated by right hand along this direction? The tip of the screw is moves upward direction. The tip of the screw moves upward direction, right. So if the screwdriver is rotated from the direction of A vector to B vector, the tip of the screw moves upward direction, right. So if the screw is rotated from the direction of A vector to B vector, the direction of motion of the tip represent the direction of C vector. The direction of motion of the tip, okay, due to the rotation of the screw gives the direction of C vector. Direction of C vector. So according to right hand screw rule, if the right hand screw is rotated, from the direction of A vector to B vector through a small angle, then the sense of advancement of the tip of the screw gives the direction of C vector. So this is right hand screw rule. Once again I repeat, according to right hand screw rule, if the right hand screw is rotated, means if the screwdriver is rotated by right hand. So if the right hand screw is rotated from the direction of A vector to B vector, from the direction of A vector, because A vector is acting in this direction, B vector is here. The screw is rotated like this. So the direction of rotation is from the direction of A vector to B vector. So if it is rotated from the direction of A vector to B vector, the sense of advancement of the tip of the screw represents the direction of C vector. Right. And second one is right hand thumb rule. Right. Suppose if the A vector is acting along this direction and B vector is acting like this. Suppose angle between these two vectors is theta. The right hand is held like this. Okay, that is a finger is points along the direction of A vector and the thumb is extended upwards. The thumb finger is extended upwards. Right. Now the finger is curled like this. That is from the direction of A vector to B vector. Right. And the extended thumb represent the direction of C vector. Suppose if the A vector is along this direction and B vector is here. If the finger is curled from the direction of A vector to B vector, the direction of C vector is acting in this direction. So by using both the right hand screw rule and the right hand thumb rule, we can determine what is the direction of C vector. The magnitude of C vector is given by modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector into sin theta, or simply AB sin theta. And both the magnitude and the direction of C vector is represented by or written as C vector is equal to modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector into sin theta into n cap, or simply AB sin theta into n cap. Theta angle between A vector and B vector. A modulus of A vector. Modulus means magnitude. Okay, magnitude of A vector. and B modulus of B vector. And n cap is a unit vector which is used to represent the direction of C vector. The direction of C vector. What are the rules is used to find the direction of resultant vector, that is the C vector, right hand screw rule and right hand thumb rule. What is the right hand screw rule? According to right hand screw rule, if the right hand screw is rotated from the direction of A vector to B vector through a small angle, then the sense of advancement of tip of the screw gives the direction of C vector, or resultant vector, right? And according to right hand thumb rule, if we curl the fingers of the right hand, from the direction of A vector to B vector through a small angle, in such a way that the extended thumb represents the direction of C vector or the direction of resultant quantity. So right hand screw rule and right hand thumb rule are the two important rules which are used to determine the direction of C vector. What is the C vector? The vector product of A vector and B vector, or cross product of A vector and B vector. The cross product of A vector and B vector gives C vector. C vector is a vector quantity, so it has both magnitude and direction. The magnitude of a C vector is AB sin theta, and its direction can be determined by using right hand screw rule and right hand thumb rule. Right. Next we go for the properties of a vector product of two vectors. Important properties of vector product of two vectors. Right. First property, the vector product of two vectors or any two vectors always gives another vector. The vector product of any two vector. It may be A vector and B vector, or C vector and D vector, or E vector or F vector, whatever it may be. So the vector product of any two vectors always gives another vector. For example, A vector and B vector are the two vectors. Their cross product or vector product are represented by A vector and B vector. Their product always gives another vector, suppose C vector. Okay, C vector, right? Whose direction, that is always gives another vector, that is C vector, whose direction is always perpendicular to the plane containing A vector and B vector. Here, board is a plane, okay, two-dimensional plane, right? Suppose the vector A acts along the positive x-axis direction, and the vector B acts along positive y-axis direction, right? So in this plane there are two vectors, A vector and B vector. The cross product or vector product of these two vectors gives another quantity, that is another vector, that is the C vector, whose direction is always perpendicular to the plane containing, okay, the two vectors, that is A vector and B vector. So what is the perpendicular direction for this plane? So this is perpendicular direction, okay, either outward or inward, right? So the direction of a C vector may be outward, that is from the board, acting outward from the board, right? Or its direction may be towards the board. But anyhow, its direction is perpendicular to A vector and B vector. So this is the first property of a vector product. So what is the first property of vector product? The vector product of any two vectors gives another vector whose direction is always perpendicular to the plane containing A vector and B vector. That is, the C vector direction is orthogonal to A vector and B vector. Orthogonal means perpendicular. So suppose C vector is acting in this direction, means the angle between C vector and B vector is 90 degree, right? Angle between A vector and C vector also 90 degree, right? Either even the A vector and B vectors are mutually orthogonal to each other, or suppose if they are acting in this direction also, the direction of C vector is perpendicular to B vector and perpendicular to A vector. So even though the A vector and B vectors are mutually orthogonal or not, the direction of C vector is always perpendicular to A vector and B vector. So this is very important property of vector product of two vectors. So once again I repeat, the vector product of any two vector gives and another vector whose direction is perpendicular to the plane containing the two vectors. That is, its direction is orthogonal to A vector and B vector, or that is the direction of a C vector is perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. Even though the A vector and B vector is mutually orthogonal. Orthogonal means 90 degree or perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular or not. Whether A vector and B vectors are mutually perpendicular or not, the direction of a C vector is always perpendicular to A vector and B vector. So this is first property, right? And second property, the vector product of two vector is not a commutative. Okay, it is anti-commutative. The vector product of two vector is not a commutative. It is an anti-commutative. Anti-commutative. It means A vector cross B vector is not equal to B vector cross A vector. But the scalar product of two vectors is a commutative, because A vector dot B vector is equal to B vector dot A vector. The scalar product of two vectors, that is A vector dot B vector and B vector dot A vector, these two are equal because the scalar product of two vectors obeys commutative law. But the vector product of two vectors does not obey commutative law. So that is why it is not a commutative, but it is anti-commutative. Anti-commutative means A vector cross B vector is equal to minus of B vector cross A vector. A vector cross B vector is equal to minus of B vector cross A vector. So that is why the vector product of two vector is anti-commutative. But the scalar product of two vector is commutative. But it is not a commutative, okay, because it is anti-commutative, right? Here, the A vector cross B vector is not equal to B vector cross A vector, whereas modulus of A vector cross B vector is equal to modulus of B vector cross A vector. The modulus of A vector cross B vector is equal to modulus of B vector cross A vector. It means the magnitude of A vector cross B vector is equal to the magnitude of B vector cross A vector. But their directions are opposite. Suppose A vector cross B vector gives another physical quantity, that is C vector means, and B vector cross A vector becomes minus C vector. Okay, A vector cross B vector is equal to C vector. Okay, but B vector cross A vector is not equal to C vector. It is minus C vector. Okay, but their magnitudes are same. But their directions are opposite. So this is another property of a vector product, right? The second property of vector product, the vector product of two vectors. The vector product of two vectors is not a commutative. Instead, it is anti-commutative, because A vector cross B vector is not equal to B vector cross A vector. Instead, A vector cross B vector is equal to minus of B vector cross A vector. But their magnitudes are equal. That means modulus of A vector cross B vector is equal to modulus of B vector cross A vector. So from this it is clear that the magnitude of A vector cross B vector is equal to magnitude of B vector cross A vector, but their directions are opposite to each other. Right, next, third property. The vector product or cross product of two vectors will have a maximum value or will have a maximum magnitude if the two vectors are mutually orthogonal. That is, the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Suppose A vector and B vector are the two vectors, they are mutually orthogonal. Mutually orthogonal means the angle between these two vectors is exactly 90 degree. 90 degree. If the A vector and B vectors are mutually orthogonal means that is 90 degree means, then the cross product or vector product of A vector and B vector will have a maximum value. Okay, that is A vector cross B vector is equal to, okay, modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector, sin theta into n cap, right? Or otherwise, AB sin theta into n cap. AB sin theta into n cap. The vector product of these two vectors will have maximum value if sin theta value is 1. When sin theta value is 1, if angle between A vector and B vector is 90 degree. So sin theta value, okay, 1 means theta value definitely 90 degree. What is theta? Angle between A vector and B vector. If angle between A vector and B vector is 90 degree or mutually orthogonal means theta value 90 degree. So sin 90 is 1. Sin 90 degree is equal to 1. Put sin 90 degree equal to 1 here, or sin theta value is 1 here, then this value becomes AB into n cap. Here A vector and B vector value is a maximum. The maximum value of A vector cross B vector is AB into n cap. AB into n cap. So this is third property. The vector product or the cross product of two vectors will have a maximum magnitude if the angle between A vector and B vector is 90 degree or they are mutually orthogonal. If the theta value is 90 degree means sin 91, then A vector cross B vector magnitude is given by AB into AB, and its direction is represented by unit vector, that is n cap. Right, next to fourth property. The vector product or a cross product of two vectors will have a minimum value, that is 0, when if the angle between A vector and B vector is 0 degree or otherwise 180 degree. Okay, when the angle between A vector and B vector is 0 degree or 180 degree, if both the vectors is acts along the same direction, A vector and B vector is acting along the same direction, then angle between these two is 0 degree. Here the A vector and B vectors are parallel to each other. Parallel to each other. Suppose A vector and B vector is acting like this. This is A vector and this is B vector. Right. What is the angle between A vector and B vector? Here angle between A vector and B vector is 180 degree. Okay. Because the A vector and B vectors are anti-parallel. So here A vector and B vectors are parallel. If A vector and B vector is parallel means angle between them is 0 degree. Here A vector and B vectors are anti-parallel. If the angle between, if A vector and B vectors are anti-parallel means then angle between them is 180 degree. So what is the formula for A vector cross B vector? A vector cross B vector is equal to A B sin theta into n cap. A B sin theta into n cap. If theta is 0 degree, sin 0 degree equal to 0. Anything into 0, 0. So A vector cross B vector value is 0. So this is minimum value. Right. Or A vector cross B vector is equal to AB sin theta into n cap. Suppose A vector and B vectors are anti-parallel to each other, then angle between them is 180 degree. Right. Sin 180 also 0. Sin 180 degree also 0. So the vector product of these two vectors will have a minimum value. The minimum value is 0. The minimum value is 0. Right. So this is fourth property. Right. First one, the vector product of two vectors or any two vectors always gives another vector whose direction is perpendicular to the plane containing these two vectors, perpendicular to the plane containing the two vectors, right? Second, the vector product of two vector is not a commutative, it is anti-commutative. It means A vector cross B vector is not equal to B vector cross A vector. But anti-commutative means A vector cross B vector is equal to minus of B vector cross A vector, minus of B vector cross A vector. But one more thing, the magnitude of A vector cross B vector is equal to the magnitude of B vector cross A vector, but their directions are opposite. Their directions are opposite. That is the second property. Third one, the vector product of two vectors will have a maximum magnitude if the angle between the two vectors are 90 degree, is 90 degree, or they are mutually orthogonal. They are mutually orthogonal. The maximum value of the vector product of two vectors is given by AB into n cap. AB into n cap, right? And next, the vector product of two vectors will have a minimum value, that is 0, if the two vectors are parallel to each other or anti-parallel to each other. If the two vectors are parallel, the angle between them is 0 degree. If the two vectors are anti-parallel, the angle between the two vectors is 180 degree. So theta value is 0 degree and theta value is 180 degree means sin theta value is 0. So anything into 0, 0. Therefore, modulus cross product or vector product of A vector and B vector will have a minimum value. The minimum value is 0, right? So this is fourth property. Next, fifth one, the self cross product is always a null vector. That is, a product of a vector with itself is always a null vector. Null vector means 0 vector. For example, a given vector is A. The self cross product or vector product is represented by A vector cross A vector. A vector cross A vector is given by AA sin theta into n cap. A sin theta into n cap. Suppose if the A vector is acting along this direction means, and this A vector also acting in the same direction. So theta value is 0 degree. Then theta value is 0 degree means sin theta value 0. Therefore, A vector cross A vector value is 0 or 0 vector. So this is called null vector. Null vector or 0 vector. In physics, null vector is simply represented by 0, right? The self cross product is always a null vector. That is, A vector cross A vector is equal to 0. In physics, a null vector is represented by 0, right? Similarly, the self cross product of unit vector also 0. The self cross product of unit vector is also 0, right? That is, I cap cross I cap is 0 vector or 0, and j cap cross j cap is 0 or 0 vector. Similarly, k cap cross k cap also 0 vector. A self cross product is always a null vector. Similarly, the self cross product of unit vector also null vector. That is, I cap cross I cap is equal to 0, j cap cross j cap is equal to 0, k cap cross k cap is equal to 0. What is I, j, k? These three are unit vectors. Orthogonal unit vectors. Orthogonal unit vectors. Right. Okay. In the case of orthogonal unit vectors, according to right hand thumb rule or according to right hand screw rule, I vector cross j vector is equal to k vector. I vector or I cap cross j cap is equal to k cap. Right. Similarly, j cap cross k cap is equal to I cap. J cap cross k cap is equal to I cap. And k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. Right? Already I told I, j, k. These three are orthogonal unit vectors. Suppose in the three-dimensional space is represented by three coordinate axes. They are x, y, and z. X, y, and z. These three are three coordinate axes, and they are used to represent a three-dimensional space. Three-dimensional space, right? The unit vector of x coordinate axis is represented by I cap, and for y axis the unit vector is j cap. For z axis the unit vector is k cap. Here angle between I cap and j cap is 90 degree, angle between j cap and k cap 90 degree, angle between k cap and I cap also 90 degree. So that is why I cap, j cap and k cap, these three are commonly called as orthogonal unit vectors. Orthogonal unit vector. In the case of orthogonal unit vectors, according to right hand thumb rule, I cap cross I cap is equal to k cap, j cap cross k cap is equal to I cap, k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. But already we know that the vector product of two vector is not a commutative. Not a commutative. So I cap cross j cap equal to k cap. But j cap cross I cap is not k cap. It is a minus k cap. Minus k cap. Similarly, j cap cross k cap is equal to I cap. But k cap cross j cap is not I cap. It is minus I cap. Right? K cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. Okay. So I cap cross k cap is equal to minus j cap. Minus j cap. Because the cross product of two vector is not a commutative, it is anti-commutative. That is why I cap cross j cap is equal to k cap. But reverse, j cap cross I cap is minus k cap. Right. Here j cap cross k cap is equal to j I cap. I cap. Reverse, k cap cross I cap is equal to minus I cap. Here k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. Reverse, I cap cross k cap is equal to minus j cap. So in the case of orthogonal unit vectors, according to the right hand thumb rule or right hand screw rule, I cap cross j cap is equal to k cap, j cap cross k cap equal to I cap, and k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. Right. The vector product of two vectors can be represented in component form. Component form. Right. We know that A vector is one of the vector. The component form of A vector in the case of three-dimensional space can be written as Ax I cap, Ay j cap plus Az k cap. Az k cap, right. And another vector is B vector. In three-dimensional space, the vector B in component form is Bx I cap, By j cap, and B z k cap. Right, here A vector and B vector are the two vectors. Their component form in the three-dimensional space, Ax I cap, Ay j cap, Az k cap. Here Ax, Ay, Az, these three are scalar components of A vector. Scalar components of A vector. I cap, j cap and k cap, these three are orthogonal unit vectors. Orthogonal unit vectors, right. B vector is equal to Bx I cap, By j cap plus Bz k cap. Here Bx, By and Bz, these three are scalar component of B vector. I cap, j cap and k cap are orthogonal unit vectors, right. Here the vector product of these two vectors is A vector cross B vector, or the cross product of these two vectors is A vector cross B vector. The cross product of the two vectors can be written in component form. The component form of cross product of A vector and B vector is matrix form. That is I cap, j cap, k cap. Next, the scalar components of A vector are Ax, Ay and Az. Okay, the scalar components of A vector is right here. Ax, Ay, Az. Next, the scalar component of B vectors are Bx, By and Bz. So Bx, By and Bz. Right. So this is component form of cross product of two vector or vector product of two vector. So A vector cross B vector in component form is equal to matrix form. I cap, j cap, k cap, these three are orthogonal unit vectors. Ax, Ay, Az, these are scalar components of A vector. Bx, By, Bz, scalar components of B vector. Further simplification, right? Already you know the concept of a matrix. A vector cross B vector in component form, further simplification is I cap of AX, AY, BZ, right, minus BY, AZ, BY, AZ. Next, minus J cap of AX, BZ, right, minus BX, AZ. BX, right. Next, plus K of, this is a procedure while dealing with the matrix. I cap plus plus minus plus minus. We are doing like that. So first plus positive, so plus I cap of AY BZ minus BY AZ. Right. Next negative, so minus J cap of AX BZ minus BX AZ. Third positive, so plus K of, you omit this column and row, this row. So next AX into BZ, sorry, AX into BY, right, minus BX into AY. BX into AY. So this is component form of cross product or vector product of two vectors. The component form of the cross product or vector product of two vectors is either matrix form I cap, J cap, K cap, AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. Okay, on further simplification, we can get I cap of AY, BZ minus BY, AZ minus J cap of AX, BZ minus BX, AZ plus K cap of AX, BY minus BX into AY. BX into AY. Right, A vector and B vector are the two vectors. They are considered as the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. The two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Suppose this is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. Right here, this is A vector and this is B vector. Suppose angle between these two vectors is a theta. The angle between the two vectors is the theta, right? Here A vector and B vector are the two vectors which are considered as the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. The two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Okay, the two vectors making an angle of a theta. Making an angle of theta, right? Here, the modulus of cross product of these two vectors, that is A vector and B vector, gives the area of the parallelogram. The area of the parallelogram is equal to the modulus of the cross product or vector product of A vector and B vector if A vector and B vector are the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram if they are making an angle of theta. They are making an angle of theta, right? So A vector and B vector are the two vectors which are the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Then the modulus of the cross product of A vector and B vector gives the area of the parallelogram. Area of the parallelogram, right? Suppose if the parallelogram is divided like this, we can get to two triangle, right? In the case of triangle, so triangle. Suppose the vector A vector and B vector are the two sides of the triangle. The two vectors are making an angle of theta, for example. Right. Here, the modulus of the cross product of these two vectors is equal to twice the area of the triangle. the modulus of cross product of A vector and B vector is equal to 2 times of the area of the triangle. 2 times of area of the triangle, or area of the triangle area of the triangle is equal to half of the modulus of the cross product of two vector. Half of the modulus of modulus of the cross product of two vector. Right here, area of the parallelogram is equal to 2 times of area of the triangle. 2 times of area of the triangle. Here, the modulus of cross product of the two vector, that is A vector, which are the two sides of the triangle, which are makes an angle of theta, means the modulus of the cross product of these two vector gives 2 times of area of the triangle. 2 times of area of the triangle. But here, A vector and B vector are the two vectors which are the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Adjacent sides of a parallelogram. The modulus of cross product of these two vectors gives the area of the parallelogram. Area of the parallelogram. So these are the important properties of vector product of the two vectors. Vector product of the two vectors. And one more thing, while dealing with rotational motion, the familiar physical quantities are torque and angular momentum. Torque and angular momentum. So these are the two important physical quantity. Mostly these two physical quantities are dealt while we are talking about rotational motion or rotational effects. So these physical quantities are generally represented by the vector product or cross product. For example, torque is represented by tau. It is given by the formula tau vector is equal to R vector cross F vector. F vector, F is a force and R is a position vector. So here tau is a torque. Okay. The direction of a torque is perpendicular to R vector and F vector. The direction of torque is perpendicular to position vector and force. Similarly, angular momentum is denoted by the letter L. So angular momentum is a vector quantity. It can be written in vector product form, that is L vector is equal to R vector cross P vector. R vector cross P vector. R vector position vector and P vector linear momentum. So in this equation it is clear that the direction of angular momentum is perpendicular to the plane containing R vector and P vector. The direction of a torque is perpendicular to the plane containing R vector and F vector. While we are dealing about rotational motion, the important physical quantities are torque and angular momentum. They are represented by vector product or cross product. Right. Thank you, students.